You are about to witness something that will break your heart. You are about to see a man who walked on water, a man who was called a rock, completely fall apart. You are about to see him deny everything he believed in. You are about to see him betray the one person he loved most. But here is what you need to understand. This moment of complete failure is not the end of his story. It is the beginning of his greatest transformation. This is Peter's redemption, and it might be yours too. Welcome back to Learn English with Great Minds. This is the third and final video in the Peter series. In the first video, we learned that transformation begins with identity. We discovered that Jesus renamed Simon Peter, which means rock. In the second video, we saw Peter walk on water. We learned that faith is action despite fear. We understood that where you place your focus determines your reality. But now we come to the most difficult part of Peter's story. We come to the moment when everything Peter believed in is tested to the breaking point. We come to the night when Peter denies Jesus 3 times. We come to the moment when Peter's faith completely fails him. But we also come to the moment of the most powerful redemption in human history. Over the next 12 minutes, you will discover that failure is not the opposite of transformation. Failure is the doorway to transformation. If you have not watched the first 2 videos in this series, please go back and watch them now, because this final video builds on everything we have learned. Let's continue Peter's journey. Jesus has been arrested. He has been taken by soldiers. He has been brought before the religious authorities. And Peter is terrified. Peter is hiding in the shadows. He is trying not to be noticed. He is trying to blend in with the crowd. Because if he is identified as a follower of Jesus, he could be arrested too. He could be executed. A servant girl looks at him. She recognizes him. She says, "You were with Jesus. You're one of his followers." And Peter panics. In that moment, all of his courage disappears. All of his faith disappears. All of his confidence disappears. He doesn't think about the miracles he has witnessed. He doesn't think about the time he walked on water. He doesn't think about his identity as a rock. He only thinks about his fear. He only thinks about his safety. He only thinks about his own survival. And Peter denies it. He says, "I do not know him. I have never met him." But the servant girl persists. She says, "You definitely were with him." And Peter denies it again. He says, "I am telling you, I do not know this man." And then another person recognizes him. And Peter denies Jesus a 3rd time. He does not just deny knowing Jesus. He curses. He swears. He says things like, "May God curse me if I am lying. I do not know this man." And in that moment, something happens. Jesus, who has been taken away, turns and looks directly at Peter. And Peter remembers. He remembers the words Jesus said to him, "Before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times." Jesus had told him this would happen. Jesus had warned him. But Peter had said, "No, Lord, I will never deny you. Even if I have to die with you, I will not deny you." But he did deny him 3 times. And now, as Peter sees Jesus looking at him with eyes full of love and sadness, Peter realizes what he has done. He has betrayed the one person he loved most. He has abandoned the one who believed in him. He has failed at the very moment when his faith was needed most. And Peter breaks. He goes outside and he weeps. The Bible says he wept bitterly. He did not just cry. He wept with the kind of pain that comes from the deepest betrayal of your own soul. For 3 days, Peter is lost in despair. Jesus has been crucified. Jesus is dead. And Peter believes that everything is over. But more than that, Peter believes that he is finished. He believes that he has failed so completely that there is no coming back. He believes that his denial was so profound that he can never be redeemed. This is the danger of shame. This is the power of guilt. When you fail, shame tells you that you are a failure. Shame tells you that your failure defines you. Shame tells you that there is no redemption, no restoration, no second chance. Peter had been called a rock, but now he feels like a pile of broken stones. Peter had walked on water, but now he feels like he is drowning in an ocean of regret. Peter had confessed that Jesus was the Messiah, but now he has denied him 3 times. Peter is not just dealing with the fact that he made a mistake. Peter is dealing with the fact that his entire identity has been shattered. Everything he believed about himself, that he was brave, that he was faithful, that he was worthy of being called a rock, has been proven false. And in that despair, Peter goes back to what he knows. He goes back to fishing. He returns to his old life. He returns to being Simon the fisherman, not Peter the rock. Because when you lose your identity, you return to your old identity. When you lose faith in who you are supposed to be, you return to who you used to be. But then something miraculous happens. Jesus rises from the dead. Jesus is alive. And Jesus does something extraordinary. He does not punish Peter. He does not condemn Peter. He does not even mention Peter's denial. Instead, Jesus appears to Peter. And in that appearance, something begins to shift. But the most powerful moment comes later, after the resurrection. Jesus appears to the disciples by the Sea of Galilee, and Peter is there, fishing. Jesus tells them to cast their nets on the right side of the boat. And when they do, the nets are filled with so many fish that they cannot even pull them in. Peter recognizes Jesus. He jumps out of the boat and swims to shore. And then Jesus does something that will change Peter forever. Jesus has prepared a meal. Jesus is cooking fish over a fire. And Jesus invites Peter to eat with him. But this is not just a meal. This is a moment of restoration. This is a moment of redemption. Jesus asks Peter 3 times, "Peter, do you love me?" And each time Peter says, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." Why does Jesus ask 3 times? Because Peter denied Jesus 3 times. Each denial is now being answered with a declaration of love. Each time Peter denied Jesus, he was rejecting his identity as a rock. Each time Peter now declares his love, he is reclaiming his identity. And after each declaration of love, Jesus gives Peter a mission. Jesus says, "Feed my sheep, take care of my people, be the rock upon which I will build my church." Jesus is not just forgiving Peter. Jesus is restoring Peter's identity. Jesus is saying, "You are still Peter. You are still a rock. Your failure does not define you. Your redemption defines you." Now let's extract the principle from this story, because this is not just about Peter. This is about you. This is about what happens when you fail. Everyone fails. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone betrays themselves at some point. Everyone denies their own values when fear overwhelms them. But here is what most people do not understand. Your failure is not your identity. Your mistake does not define you. Your betrayal does not determine your future. There is a difference between guilt and shame. Guilt is saying, "I made a mistake." Guilt is acknowledging what you did wrong. Guilt can lead to change. Guilt can lead to redemption. But shame is saying, "I am a mistake." Shame is saying, "I am a failure." Shame is saying, "I am not worthy of redemption." Shame is the voice that tells you that you are beyond repair. Peter experienced both guilt and shame. He was guilty of denying Jesus, but he was also drowning in shame. He believed that his denial proved that he was not worthy of being called a rock. He believed that his failure was final. But Jesus came to Peter and said something that changed everything. Jesus did not say, "Peter, you failed, so you are no longer my rock." Jesus said, "Peter, you failed, but you are still my rock. Your failure does not erase your identity. Your redemption is greater than your shame." This is the power of grace. Grace is not the absence of consequences. Grace is not pretending that failure did not happen. Grace is saying, "Yes, you failed. Yes, you made a mistake, but that failure does not define you. That mistake does not determine your future. I believe in who you are meant to become." And this is what transformed Peter. It was not that Peter never failed again. It was not that Peter became perfect. It was that Peter understood that his failure was not his identity. Peter understood that he was worthy of redemption. Peter understood that grace was greater than shame. Let's review the key English words from today's video. These words describe the journey from failure to redemption. When we say Peter denied Jesus, we mean he refused to acknowledge his connection to Jesus. He refused to admit that he knew Jesus. Denial is refusing to accept or acknowledge something. When we say Peter was terrified, we mean he experienced extreme fear. Terror is a more intense form of fear. It is the kind of fear that makes you unable to think clearly or act rationally. When we say Peter panicked, we mean he suddenly felt extreme fear and lost control of his emotions. Panic is an overwhelming sense of fear that causes you to act without thinking. When we say Peter wept bitterly, we mean he cried with deep sadness and pain. Weeping is crying with intense emotion. Bitterly means with great sadness or regret. When we talk about despair, we mean a complete loss of hope. Despair is not just sadness. Despair is the feeling that your situation is hopeless and that there is no way out. When we say Peter was drowning in regret, we mean he was overwhelmed by the feeling of wishing he could undo his past actions. Regret is the feeling of sadness or disappointment about something you have done or failed to do. When we talk about shame, we mean a feeling of humiliation or distress caused by the consciousness of wrong or foolish behavior. Shame is different from guilt. Guilt is about what you did. Shame is about who you are. When we say Peter experienced redemption, we mean he was saved or restored from his failure. Redemption is the action of saving or delivering someone from sin, error, or evil. It is restoration and renewal. When we talk about grace, we mean unmerited favor or kindness. Grace is receiving something good that you do not deserve. Grace is being treated better than you deserve to be treated. When we say Peter reclaimed his identity, we mean he took back his sense of who he was. To reclaim means to claim again, to take back something that was lost or taken away. Now I want to speak directly to you, because if you are watching this video, there is a good chance that you have experienced failure. There is a good chance that you have made mistakes. There is a good chance that you have betrayed your own values at some point. And I want you to understand something. Your failure does not define you. Your mistake does not determine your future. Your shame does not have to be your identity. Peter's story teaches us that redemption is always possible. No matter how far you have fallen, no matter how deep your shame, no matter how complete your failure seems, redemption is possible. But redemption requires something. Redemption requires that you accept grace. Redemption requires that you allow someone, whether that is God, or a mentor, or a trusted friend, to believe in you when you cannot believe in yourself. Peter could not save himself. Peter could not restore his own identity. Peter could not undo his denial. But Jesus came to Peter and said, "I still believe in you. I still see the rock beneath the failure. I still see your destiny." And that belief, that grace, transformed Peter. That grace allowed Peter to move from shame to redemption. So here is my question for you. What failure are you carrying? What shame are you holding on to? What mistake are you using to define yourself? And more importantly, are you willing to accept grace? Are you willing to let someone believe in you when you cannot believe in yourself? Are you willing to move from shame to redemption? Because your failure is not your destiny. Your mistake is not your identity. Your shame is not your future. Now you have seen the complete journey of Peter's transformation. You have seen how identity shapes reality. You have seen how faith overcomes fear. And you have seen how grace transforms shame into redemption. But this is not just Peter's story. This is the story of transformation itself. This is the story of how human beings change, grow, and become who they are meant to be. And this is your story too. Because somewhere in Peter's journey, you will recognize yourself. You will recognize the moment when you doubted your identity. You will recognize the moment when fear overwhelmed your faith. You will recognize the moment when shame tried to define you. But you will also recognize the moment of grace. You will recognize the moment when someone believed in you. You will recognize the moment when redemption became possible. If this series has impacted you, if these stories have changed how you think about transformation, if you have learned something about yourself through Peter's journey, then I need you to do 3 things. First, like this video, share that you believe in redemption. Share that you are choosing grace over shame. Second, subscribe and turn on notifications, because we are launching a new series next month. We are going to explore the lives of other transformational figures. We are going to discover the principles of change that will revolutionize your life. Third, comment below. Tell me, what is your Peter moment? What failure have you experienced? How has grace transformed your shame? How have you moved from denial to redemption? I read and respond to every comment personally. Remember this, you are not defined by your failure. You are defined by your redemption. You are not your shame. You are your grace. Until the next series, work in silence, pray in silence, transform in silence.